Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Lady K Chat podcast. I would like to welcome you and thank you for tuning in today. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about today's show. Now, today is the video Vixen part 2. And I'm going to talk about the price that has to be paid when you tampered with your body, because what you don't know, when you see these celebrities in the spotlight, we don't know what they had to go through or what are they going through because they choose to do work to the natural born body that God has given you. So tune in right now as I play part 2 of Video Vixen. See you there.
The following podcast is a Lady K Enterprises production.
Lady K.
Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to Lady K Chat, a podcast that is designed for all women to become better versions of themselves, which is broadcast every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Various subjects will be speaked upon, such as relationships, personal development, health and wellness, wealth building, children, and so much more. She is a 2-time Amazon best-selling author, an international speaker, and life coach. She is Kalima, aka Lady K. And now for your host, Lady K.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Video Vixen to Celebrity Part 2. And I ended off on Part 1 by saying about self-love, how at the end of the day, we think it's because of what we want, because how we view ourselves. Well, in reality, it's actually the response that we get from others that make us reflect ourselves. And sometimes we don't realize that when you treat yourself cheap, you're going to get those results. What do I mean by that? I want to share a story with you of a young lady who had problems with people accepting her for who she was. She was a successful entrepreneur. She was doing her thing. She owned her own salon. She was successful at what she does. And everyone teased her about her flat butt. So in 2004, she thought it was her time to come, and enhance herself. So long story short, a friend told her about how she can get butt implants for a low price. She went to go ahead and, she went ahead and she proceeded with it, not knowing that it was really going to cost her and also cost her her life. This woman had to undergo 27 surgeries to remove her hands, her feet, the flesh around her buttocks and hips that were infected. 27 surgeries. I think that's crazy. It's crazy. And all because you wanted to quick fit yourself for a cheap price. Why? Why you treat yourself, ladies, like that? That's because it's cheap. That doesn't mean it's best. Why don't you choose the best choices? Why would you even put yourself in that position because of what other people say? This is what I'm talking about when I mean the self-love, that you always got to get validation from others and not just take it upon yourself that, this is just me and I accept me. So now that I tell you about that young mother, someone that can just be a everyday person, I want to talk about someone who you might know. And this young lady, she was the highlight at one time because of how she looked. And I'm going to talk about K. Michelle. So in 2012, K. Michelle was getting migraines, fatigue, and pain in her back and legs for 5 years. She caught an infection. The infection spread down her legs and damaged her tissues. She had to undergo 4 surgeries just to remove the injections. And K. Michelle quoted herself. She said getting the injection was one of the worst decisions of her life. It cost her. Same type of women, just in 2 different areas of life. And they all doing it on the black market. And to this day, people are still doing it on the black market, knowing the effect that people have because they are so desperate to please other individuals and not themselves. They are so pleased to give other people glory and not the Father who created them. As I said in part 1, He created you in His image. He made you the way that He made you. Why enhance you? And for those who talk about you, so what? It will just make your skin thicker. And for those who got something to say, let them talk. People always, let me tell you something. People are always going to talk. It don't matter what you do, but of course, you want to implement the good. You want to do what's right in His sight. But what I'm saying to you, people's always going to find some type of judgment. And again, you don't want to validate yourself just to make them feel secure about what they're saying. Because sometimes people don't even know what half of the stuff that they be saying. They just be talking out their mouth. But I'm going back to you. Do you want to go from video vixen to celebrity? Do you want more for yourself? Now, I do want to say this. Absolutely, I heard a lot of women who went to the right physician and paid a significant amount of funds for the proper procedure, and they had, good, successful surgeries, and and they're okay to this day. But I also want to mention that just because you go to a professional does not exempt you from anything happening to you. And I just want to actually read off a list to you that you really should consider that are common, but something to make you think. So these are the common side effects as follow: excessive bleeding after surgery, pain, scarring, skin discoloration, infection, fluid or blood accumulation underneath the buttocks, allergic reaction, skin loss, nausea and vomiting from anesthesia, and also it's possible for the silicone implants to move or slip out of place, sometimes appearing uneven. Wow. Did we really have to go through all of that just to prove something? Real talk. I just think that sounds absurd. It sounds really crazy. And I can't believe women are putting themselves in position just to do this. So, I have a question for you. And I want you to really consider and just really think about it. Do you feel like you're doing this to get a man attention because society told you in order for you to get a man, you can't look like that? I just got a real questions for you, ladies. Yeah, I want you to think about that. Because if that's the case, then you're always going to go around pleasing people. So it doesn't matter if it's a man. It doesn't matter if it's your family. It doesn't matter who it is. You're always going to go around pleasing them. Well, when can you please and be happy with yourself and allow God to just be who He is in you? So ladies, I hope that this message helped you. I hope it inspired you. I hope that you gain some new insight because, we are here to educate and inspire. Thank you for listening tonight. Continue to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, on Facebook and YouTube. And you can also visit us on our website at www.ladykenterprisesinc.com.
Lady K.